Disability insurance is one of the most ignored types of insurance that people do not buy. You might think that you are in great health and do not need disability insurance. However, disaster can strike without warning. Accidents do happen that could prevent you from working. In addition, the body is unpredictable, and disease or illness could suddenly attack. What is disability insurance? Disability insurance is an insurance policy that will cover much of your salary if you are unable to work. Money is necessary to live, so this type of insurance will give you some income. It basically protects you financially if you become disabled. Why do you need disability insurance? You do not want to think about becoming disabled, but there are a large number of people in this country who cannot work because of a disability. Having disability insurance can keep you from having severe financial hardships in the future. If you do not have disability insurance, there are many reasons as to why it could really cost you. 1. Loss of income. Paid sick leave only goes so far. The cost of the diagnosis, treatment and recovery can be significant. You also need to make sure that you have the money to pay monthly expenses. You might have the necessary medical insurance to cover your medical bills, but the other expenses can leave you in a financial bind. When you cannot work, you will not receive any income, but your bills continue. If you have disability insurance, you will be receiving some money to help offset your loss of income. 2. Medical expenses. Even though you might have medical insurance, the cost of health care is increasing. Even with medical insurance, there could still be a significant cost for your treatment and recovery. You might need specialists or even physical therapy to aid in your recovery. The gas money also adds up. You will need to travel to the hospital or doctor's office while you are recovering. 3. Miscellaneous expenses. If you are not receiving income, you cannot do the things that you enjoy. In other words, your quality of life would decrease. You cannot go out to dinner or rent a movie. You could not spend money on your family at Christmas time or for their birthday. It would be a very boring and stressful way to live. Types of coverage. There are basically two types of disability insurance coverage. Short-term disability. This type of disability is coverage that does not last long, usually for about a year. If you are not able to work because of a disability, you need to return to work within that year. This is usually less expensive. Long-term disability. Long-term disability is insurance that will take longer than a year. You have a serious problem in which you cannot recover from within 52 weeks. Long-term disability insurance usually begins after your short-term insurance has expired. Some employers provide short or long-term disability benefits. Other employers offer it as a payment option. It is a needed benefit if you do not want to go without income because of a disability. Advantages of disability insurance. Since you will not receive a paycheck from your employer, you will receive income through your disability insurance provider. You will need money to pay your monthly expenses, such as utilities, mortgage, groceries, etc. Having a paycheck could even prevent you from facing foreclosure. Normally, disability insurance is a percentage of your salary. The amount that you will receive depends on your type of insurance plan. It might be half of your income, or it could be up to 3/4 of your salary. Although it will not be all of the income that you are accustomed to receiving, it could keep your head above water during this difficult time. Getting disability insurance. If your employer does not provide disability insurance, you can purchase it on your own. You need to search around to find the best options for you. An insurance quote comparison site is your best option when comparing policies. There are a few things that you need to look for when getting disability insurance. Get one that cannot be cancelled. This is a contract that will secure you a rate for a certain amount of time, and your provider cannot cancel it. Another non-cancelable plan is a renewable plan that does not allow your provider to drop you. However, they could raise their fees. Know their definition of total disability. There are terms, such as all occupation and any occupation, that you will want your insurance company to clarify. Own occupation normally means that you will get benefits if your disability does not allow you to do the job that you were doing before your disability occurred. Any occupation means that your disability will need to be so severe that you will be unemployed and not work at all. Look for insurance writers. Make sure that you read the terms and conditions of your plan. Riders are terms put into your policy that allows you to make changes at some point in the future. Costs of coverage. The price of disability insurance will vary, and thus it is wise to use an insurance quote comparison site to get the best deal. The longer your term, the more expensive it will be. Some companies will look at your occupation when they set the price. However, the risks of not having coverage far outweigh the cost of obtaining disability insurance. It is a huge risk to not have disability insurance, and it could come at an enormous price while putting you in a financial bind. Being without a steady income for just a few days can be costly, but not having income for an extended amount of time can cause you an extreme amount of emotional, financial, and psychological pain.